Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. Today we have KB Marion, Kimberly Denise Marion. Kimberly Denise is also the name of Lil Kim. I think that's what she told me. Anyways, we're going to talk about drugs, dropping acid. I dropped acid for the first time with a stranger recently. It involved candy flipping. That's when you mix it with Molly. And I mixed it with more things. Talk about Newports. Well, how I got roadhead for giving some girl Newports once, kind of. All right, listen to it. You'll find out what happened. We talk a little bit about hot sauces, right? I should take a picture of my hot sauces. I probably will. We talk about our vices, you know. KB sees me and Mike. She sees me talking about me, how I'm kind of extreme. You know, I go extremes either way. She's always telling you got to learn moderation because, yeah, I'm pretty 0 to 100. So she does tell us a story about this time she went to a concert on Xanax. So maybe I'll try Xanax, right? But it kind of reminded me of like sleep paralysis. I don't know if you know what that is, but I used to get it. We get in a little bit into a comedy. We get about people like I guess comics. People that complain about comedy and art. Like comedy's art, man. And then sometimes I'll put up the link with Patrice to get to a joke. It's not always clean. Not always clean, but it's tough, man. It's tough. So you gotta let artists be artists. And there's people putting rules on artists that aren't doing comedy that much anymore. So go write a joke, stay out of it. Stop complaining about other people's comedy. And let them try. Let them fail. Let them fail on their own. Afghanistan? Who wants to go to Afghanistan? Anybody want to go on a tourist trip? No. We'll talk about that. Scott Storch. I'm going to watch the documentary because I'm not saying I remind myself of Scott Storch, but there's things he does where I was like, I do a little more a budgeted version of that. But yeah, I didn't know the Happy Corner podcast, as Sean stood for the Happy Corner, THC. Oh my, man, I had no idea. I talk about Puerto Ricans waking up in Kenosha, social media, right? You go into social media a little bit, some of the ups and downs of it, and she helps me explain why the fat lesbian recently cock-blocked me. So yeah, IG, K Marion Comedy, K-M-A-R-I-O-N, you know how to spell comedy, and Twitter, Happy Corner Pod. Happy Corner Pod. All right, here we go. Lobo Den.
Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. Lobo Den, Lobo Den, Lobo Den. It's the Lobo Den.
Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. This is Giovanni Diaz. Today we have KB, Kimberly. KB, you do it for online. Is it easier? Is that why you do KB or?
Yeah, it's signature to me being a stand-up.
So KB.
KB is the only stand-up is the only place where KB is used.
So in the regular world, they call you Kimberly, like at work.
No,
right?
No,
that's white.
The only
Kimberly.
The only people who call me Kimberly are my parents.
Oh, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Who'd you get named after? A white chick your tail's into? Kimberly. Wait, are there any black Kimberlys?
Yeah, there's a lot of black Kimberlys.
Did they go? Really?
Yeah.
I can't think of
As a matter of fact, Lil Kim's name is Kimberly Denise, which is exactly my first and middle name.
Kimberly Denise?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess her name is going to be Lil Kim, right?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. What's Lil Wayne's name?
Kim Whitley, a comedian. She's another Kim.
No, I don't know. I remember I used to tag the white Kimberly. No, I would tag you. I would do it to Mike with the white Kimberly. I forgot her last name.
May?
She had the Mustang. Yeah, Kimberly May.
Yeah.
And then I would tag you on accident or tag her, and then I would do that too sometimes. Yeah, we have KB. Do you want me to call you KB?
Yeah, KB's cool.
All right. We have KB on the podcast today on the Lobo Den. I wanted to get her. What I like about KB, she hears a lot of my bullshit when I go to open mics about me and my not even relationships. I don't know. Man.
You know what? The funny thing is like when people see Giovanni come in and he's on relationship phone shit, people will be like, "Oh God, here he goes."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is good entertainment before the mic." Like me and Luis will always. I love it.
Luis Arevalo, episode 7, 8, or I forget which one he's on. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think this. We're in 2020 now, and I told myself this year, like, I'm gonna cut some women out of my life.
Good.
Again. So right now, I'm gonna keep the one that I shouldn't, and then she is, what is it called? Baggage. She got baggage, and then I think I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna try to. I'm trying to start a clean. So Kimby's a stand-up comedian. Are we in Chicago?
This is my hometown. This is Aurora.
Aurora, right? Where do you live?
I live in Yorkville, but it's pretty fucking far out there.
Oh, okay.
And this is, like I said, this is my hometown. I know like the front and back ends of the city, so I was like, just meet me there.
What's the ghetto part of Aurora? Because isn't there like a north and a south? I remember hearing jokes when I would do shows, and somebody like, oh yeah, on the south side or the north side, and then somebody make a reference.
There is North Aurora, which is kind of like its own little thing. There's the west side, east side.
Oh, is it the west side, east side? Is that which one's the ghetto?
There's no
Where do you get
south
shot? Where's the bad part? I've heard references.
I mean, most people would probably say parts of the east side of Aurora.
Okay.
But like you're on the east side of Aurora right now.
Oh, okay. Seems fine,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. This is it. This is the fucking. What I've been hearing was so ghetto or fucking dangerous.
You know what though? But like the perception of ghetto is also by proxy through white people. Like how do they fuck? And I'm not saying this as like race shit. I'm saying it as white people. Sometimes their perception of what ghetto is in the suburbs.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because they'll be like, oh my God, you know, like, oh, it's so ghetto. They'll be like, oh, I've been around in the ghetto. I'm like, dude, like, you dipping over to buy weed on the west side of Aurora is not being in the ghetto. Like, I wouldn't even call, you know, there's hood aspects to it, but get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I live in the suburbs. I live in Waukegan, which is like considered ghetto.
I've been up there.
Yeah,
I've hung out up there.
And it's I don't think it's that bad. It's been getting worse. Actually, it's been getting worse the last few years.
Yeah.
Like but I think what I've been told is people from the south side are coming up. I don't know if they're coming up to do robberies or something like that. If it's armed robberies, there've been more armed robberies, and then last few months carjackings.
I hope they get every last drop that they possibly can, because to take a hike up to Waukegan, that's not even worth it by the time you get there.
Or I don't know if it's like cousins moving up and living with, I don't know, but I forgot. Somebody explained to me, but we have been getting more armed robberies. The last few months we get some carjacking. Like somebody got their car jacked by my mom, so I had her buy pepper spray. Do you have pepper spray?
No.
No, okay. Most people, I talk to a lot of girls that have pepper spray. They own it, but they never have them on them. It's like in a purse somewhere else or something at their house.
Yeah, like just first, I don't keep any of it because honestly, I'm not about to. If I'm in the presence of like, oh, I'm gonna spray you, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm about to throw some hands. I want to make some hard contact to make sure.
Pepper spray on me.
To make sure everything is like, oh, I got pepper spray. Like, cool, man. All right, but then, and if you don't know what you're doing, it don't make a difference anyway. Most people don't even know how to utilize most of that shit.
Pepper spray? No. I've gotten pepper sprayed.
Of course you have.
Yeah,
multiple times.
It wasn't by a chick. It wasn't by a chick. I got pepper sprayed in Colorado.
Why?
In Denver, because I was there. My cousin lives in Denver. I went to go visit, and then we went to like some pachanga, some Mexican little. It was like a Mexican place. They had a dance.
I gotta be honest. I dropped a little bit of acid before this.
Oh, really? I dropped acid on Saturday. Did I told you?
No, you didn't.
For the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah. So I've never done acid, right? And then last Saturday, I did a show, right, and it went well. And then afterwards I was like, I should go home, and I was like, I didn't. So I hit up a few girls, and I should have recorded a podcast because I was gonna record with somebody, but I didn't. And then I hit up some people, and then somebody came over that I've never met, and then I offered them drugs or offered them alcohol. They weren't drinking. I offered them weed. They smoked. I was like, you want anything else? So then I had a tab of acid and Molly there. So then I did the acid. I finished all the Molly, started doing coke, drank some whiskey, and I did some edibles. And then, I lost my whole Sunday. And I think I talked about it on the last podcast, but basically like, it fucked me. Because I did all of it. And I couldn't get hard.
Yes,
sir. Ma'am. Sorry.
We'll get back to that in a sec. Look, bro, how did you have a Post Malone weekend, but like on our budget?
Well, see, the Molly I already had at my.
Was it gifted?
This has been at my. The acid was free.
Okay.
Right. The acid was free. I got it from some chick who I picked up one time, and she was on acid, and we picked some other girl, and then we gave her a ride, and it was just at that point I wanted him out of my car because one of the girls was like 18 or maybe underage, and I was like,
were you Uber driving?
No, I was driving back from Mike in the city, and she hit me up, and I was like, can I get a ride? And I was like, man, I get a blowjob out of this. Because this is a girl I met at a bar that my friend's dad was like, hey, man, this crazy white girl, do you give her some drugs, she'll suck your dick. And I was like, really, right? So I talked to her a little bit. And that night, maybe a year ago, I ended up going back to a hotel room with her, and I slept with her. And I had a joke I worked on about her because she was like, hey, I want some Newports, white girl. And then I was like, I got cigarettes. We don't need. And it's like, no, I really want Newports. And then I was like, it's like if you drive into the gas station and get Newports, I'll give you head. So I had a joke where I was like, oh, I got road head for Newports and blah blah blah. But this is the same. So this is the girl where I gave her a ride.
Wait, did she give head before or after she smoked the Newports?
I don't remember. Well, before, because it was on the way. She was giving me the heads. Yeah. So she was a winner award, and she's
so
a mechanic.
you had fresher breath.
Yeah, and she was a mechanic, right? She was.
Well, then her breath wasn't really that fresh to be.
And then,
dude, she probably gives like aggressive hand jobs, but like your dick feels really gritty afterwards. Like
I came in her. She said she couldn't get pregnant, and I was like, for real?
And you took the challenge? Did you?
Yeah,
what if
the white girl challenge.
What if you wasted your once in a lifetime opportunity by nutting in a chick that couldn't get pregnant? And that's like that. You know how people get that once in a lifetime
kid, right? That like it wasn't meant to be.
Or just like that lightning bolt that strikes you.
Yeah,
like it might be you start a band on a whim or something. Yours was like, you know what? I'm going to bust in this girl that says she can't get pregnant. And then the universe was like, we're going to waste it on this one. And boom,
damn.
Giovanni's a dad.
I live I'll cross that bridge. Like my friend was asking me the other day, like, what if you get arrested for, I wasn't doing anything illegal yesterday, but maybe, right? And he's like, what if you get arrested? And I was like, all right, then I'll go to court. I'll get a lawyer. It's, one thing, I don't overthink too much. I do think, but I don't overthink too much.
Right.
But so I picked this. So, okay, the girl, she had her kid taken away, right? She has a kid, but it got taken away or something for adoption. I don't know, but she doesn't have access.
So she's free.
So, yeah. So I was like, do you have a kid? She's like, no, well, I do, but, I don't have her. And I was like, oh, this isn't a good sign. But anyways, so this is the girl who a few years late, what's funny, that night when I met that girl, there was another girl I was talking to who when I left, but my sister by the time I left the bar and went with the white girl to the hotel, my sister got in a fight with this other girl. Yeah. Because I was buying this other girl drinks, right? This is a girl I was trying to holler at, some Puerto Rican, right? Or half Puerto Rican. I have a weakness for Puerto Rican women. She was buying her drinks, and then my sister yelled at her. Or I was buying her drinks, and my sister yelled at the girl. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna let my brother buy you drinks, but you can't even fuck him or something. And then they got into a fight. But I was gone by this point. I was with the white girl. Anyways, about a year later, the white girl calls me. He's like, hey, she's like, can you give me a ride? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can get some head out of this. But then when I pick her up, she's like on this weird side road by the woods off, or like those neighborhoods and I'm like,
what did you just get done doing?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, oh, I'm on acid about it. Because I thought she would be like at somebody's house or whatever, an apartment. But she's on the street. And I'm like, okay. And then we got to go pick up this girl, do that. And I was like, all right, I'll give you guys a ride, but then I'm done. He's like, we're going to a house party. You want to go? And I was like, are there any dudes? And I was like, no, I'm done. And then she's like, I don't have any gas money, but I have this tab of acid. So she gave me the tab of acid. Gotcha. And I've been had this acid in my house for like a minute because acid's like 12 hours, right? Or something. So I just haven't had time to do it. And I'd never done it, so I wanted to research a little bit more before I did it. And then the Molly I had from 2 weeks before, because this is a girl in the city, not Chicago and not in the suburbs. I don't want to name the city, but there's a girl I used to mess with, and we're supposed to meet up. Right. And then, have sex and do Molly. But then she flaked on me. So I bought this Molly to meet up with this other girl maybe 2 weeks ago. So the Molly's been sitting there, right? So it's all been sitting there.
Got an accumulation.
Yeah. So I was like, I told the girls, like, you want to do Molly? And I was like, we did the Molly, but I did it. I waited, and then I waited, and then I waited, and then I waited. We did more. I ended up finishing it, and I was like, you want to do the acid? So we split the tab. We did the acid, and then edibles and everything. At one point, I did take off my watch though, because I felt like, because she was kind of like, oh. She felt I was very like controlling, like, oh, like I was timing everything, doing everything very precise. She's like, oh, you're very, and I was like, I think when the acid hit it, I was like, you're right.
Yeah, you went into
like,
the meticulous.
I was like, fuck out of here. I might need that.
Why did you just? Nobody can even see you right now.
I just threw my. Oh,
And you
where
just-
that thing? I don't know. That might be used one day, maybe. I just threw my watch to the ground. I don't know, to prove a point. But yeah, that was the first time I did acid. Was this Saturday with somebody I'd never met. That was the first time I met that girl when she came over. By the way, like I met her before, like on Tinder, and I messaged back and forth, but we never hung out. And then hopefully the other girls I'm talking to don't listen to this. That's probably why the other girl hasn't responded.
Do the women listen to this?
Like I've gotten, this is like this one, I feel like the last few girls I've been talking to who all of a sudden aren't there, probably listened to it or looked me up. Because one of them looked me up on YouTube and she messaged me like, oh, I Googled you. And then some podcast I did with this dude was there where I'm talking about when I went to Miami and spent all his money on these strippers. Yeah. So I don't know. But I don't know. At the same time, it's like there's one girl I don't talk about. That one girl who has baggage. Yeah. And that's about it. You know what I mean? I try to be pretty, I don't know. Do you feel like you're on the podcast? Do you not? But you guys have guests on, right? And there's two of you, so you don't sit here ranting about your fucking personal mistakes, or maybe older stuff. Maybe
yeah. There's not a lot of that necessarily. We do like with our segments, we do get an opportunity to kind of get into personal shit. For me, I don't know. It's very hard for me to be vulnerable, to be quite honest. And especially, I'm super guarded around people. This is one of my things. It's very difficult.
I'm fucking blabbermouth.
And so yeah, I think that like in this age, it's not even about necessarily like, oh, I don't want such to listen to it or whatever. Some of it is purely like withholding something makes it feel personal and private and nice and what do you call it?
Like I want to talk about that one chick so bad, but I can't.
No, but she's like, when there's certain people or things that it's not necessary to do that. Sometimes it's good to keep things sacred.
Yeah, So I don't talk about my ex anymore because she stopped listening to podcasts. Because I said something I don't even know what I said on Baroni's, and then I was like, I think I'll go back and cut it out because I'm like, can you start listening again? She's like, no. So now I don't talk about her, even though I just mentioned her. Yeah,
it's so like because like we want to be blunt, and sometimes we have a different exterior to where, as comedians, we can say something without the polish, and it doesn't have to be so candy coated and saccharine.
Okay.
So we can be very blunt, and what ends up happening is that people who are not within that space, we see it as like, oh, thank you for that honesty, or thank you for being direct, or this is just me, or what I'm feeling or thinking. And then you have the other people who are like, wait, no, but how you said that and I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think as comedians, sometimes we say things and we all are getting it and understanding it, like, yeah, for sure. And the people on the outside are like, I don't know
monsters, about that. Yeah. Like, what do you guys like? And I talk to my friends a lot, my regular friends. So we're very like, so I'm on the phone every day with my buddies. We live in different states, but I'm on the phone with them. Like I was just on the phone with them on the drive up there right now. Like two of my friends. One of them's in Texas. One of them lives here, but we're always on conference calls. So I'm used to just talking shit or being, outside of work. I don't know. Like, well, sometimes I don't know if you do this when you get off of work. Do you yell when you get off of work? Like you start screaming?
No, I immediately.
I'm nothing like myself at work. I'm very guarded.
I'm way more charming at work.
Okay.
But I'm once again still boundaries. I'm about the work, and I just want to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Wait, what were we talking?
All right. How much acid did you take? How does it work? I took a little tab.
I only took a tab.
Okay. Mine was a little one, and we split it. And then when I went to the bathroom, it kind of hit me.
We were on to something, what we were just talking about, and we just dropped it like fucking druggies. We're going to come back to that.
I was at work. Like, I'm not myself at work.
Okay, that's what it was. You were asking about, do I scream when I get up? No, I don't scream.
It's not an anger. You know what? I curse in my,
What do you do?
I work in sales, so I sell golf equipment, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm more myself more than I ever been on the phone and whatever. Like this year or whatever, I'm more myself, but I'm still not like, like most people, if they would find out that I do comedy at work, they're like, "You're a comedian." I'm like, "You're not funny." Like, I don't say anything. Well, you know, now I'm a little bit more, more myself on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But before it was like super. For the last few, super guarded. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no way you would know that I'm a wild animal. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at work or something like that. So sometimes when I get off of work, like when I get in my car, like I don't know, I have all this pent up energy, especially if I sat down a lot and I didn't get up and down or anything. Like I don't know, I'm insane. So I get in the car and I kind of curse.
Really?
You know what I mean? I'm like, because I don't know, I feel like I wasn't myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, I just get it all. I'll get it out at once. And I got on the phone with my friends and I'm like, I'm yelling out of all this extra energy. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, I am on the opposite. Like what I do is
Yeah, I want to party now.
I'm when I get off work, man, it is a sigh of relief. Like, whew, I made it through the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll sit in my car before I take off, whether it's cold, raining, whatever, like a good 10 minutes and like just meditate and reflect for like 10 minutes of like, I'm not around anybody. Even if it's just in the car, it's just like, I'm not around anyone. This is my space for a second to kind of recenter and focus on the shit I actually want to do.
Oh, really?
For the remainder of the day. Yeah. And I live in solitude a lot. Like I was talking to my mom. We were watching something the other day, and because she was like, "Oh, we haven't hung out since Christmas, whatever." I was like, "All right." And so we were watching a TV show, and it was on like it was recorded on DVR, and so we're watching it, and the commercial comes out for
tampons.
No, no, for the Star Wars movie.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you know what's funny is I didn't realize Star Wars. There was a Star Wars movie until Christmas Eve. I'm dead ass serious.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't pop up in your social media. Everybody fighting about Star Wars or something.
No, because I don't see. It's just an algorithm, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I got tired of hearing about nerd shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if it popped up in my feed, I would hit ignore. And then if people would post about nerd shit that I got tired of hearing them argue about, I wouldn't like it. So now it's just not in my algorithm. So I totally legit, like Disney Plus shit pops up in my feed and I'm like, ignore.
You know what? I'm at a weird place with social media where I don't know if I'm scared to hit ignore on things because I feel I missed something.
You're not missing shit.
I know it, but in my head I'm thinking I feel like I should though. I don't know.
Because if we have to, like, I feel like I have to be on social media. Just because of what we do as comedians, so I feel like I have to be on there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be on there an egregious amount, and I'm not going to waste a lot of my time on, I don't know any more couth way to say it, but fuck shit. And there's a lot more fuck shit on social media than anything, and
especially Facebook is pretty shitty, I feel.
Yeah, it's too energy draining. I just don't have time for that anymore, There's so much I want to do, and if I want to be entertained by anything, I think I'm going to find a good film or read a good book or something, go to a museum, something like actually active that's engaging. And, you know, like I just took back up, like my brother tried to teach me it and I couldn't get into it, but like, again, learning like chess, like as a beginner, like from stage 1. So I was like, I know the rules, but let me like learn it. And it's been really, I've enjoyed, that's like been a great mental break from shit.
You know, Brian's like a not pro, but like high-end chess player, Mr. Egg.
Yeah, I know. Him and Vlad are both really good.
Oh, Vlad too?
Yeah, both of them are really good. I am nowhere near that yet.
Did they play each other?
They did. I was outside
Who won?
watching.
I'm sorry, Brian, right?
Yeah,
Brian's like,
Brian
from what I listened to the podcast with him and Pinnell before Brian, fucking lost his shit. Mm-hmm. Brian Egg is a comic. He keeps asking me, anyways, he's a comic here who, I don't know, I think he lost his shit or something. I mean, I claimed he was going to shoot us all, but he hasn't. So I don't know. Maybe he's just medicated.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't listen.
Can't figure him out.
I can't figure him out, but whatever. I mean, the comedy scene attracts, everything. The comedy scene is the only scene that is unto itself, collects the niche of everything else and puts it into one thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's
some housewife just hit me up, DM me today.
I could were you stripping?
No. Like about comedy. She was like some house. Like I'm thinking about going back into it, and she was in my requested one, so I didn't even see it. She's like, I'm thinking about going into comedy. I see you hosted Mojo's, and then she's like, do you know how I could sign up or something? So some housewife influencer looking chick on Instagram messaged me. So I think she messaged them and the shrine and everything. So yeah, they're like, you get the housewives, you get the crazy people.
You get I had a couple of former students are yeah, and
Really?
I had one hit me up yesterday about doing it. Yeah.
Have you been to a mic or anything with a former student?
I've put them on shows or recommended shit for them. Yeah.
Really? How does that feel?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because number one, I like breaking down a barrier of, when you're young and you see a teacher, you're like, oh, like old person. And then when you get older, you're like especially
I've seen them at bars. It was so weird to me.
Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute. And I'm like, oh, yeah, what are you up to?
Like, I want to sleep with teachers now. Because I have nieces and nephews, so I go to like their parent teacher thing, and it's like, I want to fuck your teacher. No. But I mean, all right.
Well, the thing
it's weird. I've never seen him like that. Like,
no,
to me,
I think because of the look of and expectations of the teachers is a little bit different. So when we was coming up, what I'm saying, like our teachers, probably were not that appealing to us as young. Like there was never a guy teacher or a woman teacher that was like, oh, they fine as fuck. Like all of my teachers, I was like, I would not fuck them. Every teacher I was like, I would not fuck this teacher. Like what? Like when all that that one lady with the
Laterno or something, like the Asian kid.
Yeah,
and had kids with them. They're still together.
Yeah, yeah, they're still together and shit.
Mary Kay Laterno, I think. Yeah.
Is that Mary Kay Laterno?
Yeah, either fuck the kid or cuts up his dick off or something. That name, I'm pretty sure that's her. I could be wrong.
I don't think that's right. I think Mary
something Laterno. I think it's Laterno.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
I think you're thinking about Lorena Bobbitt cut off
John Wayne Bobbitt's dick, and they did porno with it after or something.
Yeah, but yeah, when that shit came out, I was like, really? Like
now everybody's fucking their students, dude. Like I see a story like every week.
Yeah, like that's because that's where women predators go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, legit. That's where women predators go. Women predators, they're gonna utilize the unexpected. That's the reason why so many women serial killers that have not been caught is because of the professions they worked in and shit like that. Like they work in like medical, like nursing and shit like that.
Yeah, and they just kill, and then someone's gonna die anyways, and just pillow them up. Oh, where are you getting this from? Is this the serial killer shows or something on TV?
No, read. There's like psychology shit behind it. Yeah,
I gotta start reading.
Yeah.
I don't really.
I legit learned that that wasn't no SVU shit. I remember we had a conversation of it because I had one psychology professor. I had to take 2 psychology courses, and I had one psychology professor who just absolutely hated TV psychology, like the Dr. Phil, and shit like that,
yeah.
And like TV psychology, which is in like the bullshit in like SVU, Law and Order, that type of shit. Hated that type of shit. And so like whenever we would bring up things and it'd be he'd pull out like different examples and things like that of, hey, did you guys know this, and so one time we were talking about the psychology of a serial killer, and he was talking about how it's about pattern. He's like, yeah, but you don't even pick up on the pattern until because most people don't take a lot of that shit seriously. So that pattern is going on for a long time before
oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like people like it's a bunch of these incredibly smart people. Like it's the psychology for the police is not, but the person, everything is, they've kind of graduated to it. So we were talking about that, and it was like, why is it mostly men? And he was like, well, why do you assume that it's mostly men? And, you know, we have this perception of women being this nurturing, but I want to say that I quite honestly, if you want to see somebody really get hurt, just take away all the humanity in the woman, you will feel wrath like no other.
Yeah, dude.
Straight up. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, dudes, we just break things and stuff. We're just more, you know, I feel we're more like, what is it? Not aggro, but it was
and
like,
your ego. That's the difference, too. Because a woman, it's like, I don't want to get caught.
Okay.
Eventually, for dudes, it's like,
hey, I want to show off.
Yeah,
I feel like that's why I try to have sex with half the women I have sex with is to tell my friends, or I feel this pressure, like, man, I gotta fuck to tell my friends, or like it's that, you know what I mean? Like,
is that all of your friends' conversations, like y'all fucking?
Or I feel like, well, unless it's somebody you're in a relationship with, like nobody wants to hear you fucked your girlfriend or wife. It's like then it's dead. But if it's new, then it's like, all right, yeah. It's like the first thing you ask, like, what happened? Did you smash? It's like the first thing you want to know.
Are your other friends like are they married?
One's married, so he's out. One's married. The other one's married.
See, that's the reason why you feeling that pressure.
And then,
do you know what I'm saying? Because
when
you have friends that are married and they are kind of vicariously living through your exploits, and you come back to them and you're like, nah, I didn't smash, and they're like, what the fuck,
or something.
This is you're the last. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, hey, we're living through you. Yeah,
and then like just maybe a few weeks ago, I went to this chick's house, and I didn't want to go, but it was like I felt like this pressure, like I gotta go. She invited me to her crib to try to go, and it's like I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to get McDonald's. I want the fish fillet or something like that.
But right. Wait. Is that your go-to at McDonald's is fish fillet?
Nah, because it's been, well, you know what? I just had one the other day. I think it was in my head because like 5 years ago, I had a fish fillet at the Rock'n'Roll McDonald's when I was drunk, and I was talking to my friend about it. For some reason, the one we had that day just tasted like the best fish fillet I ever had. My go-to right now has been a cheeseburger, regular cheeseburger with extra ketchup, light onions. And then every once in a while, I'll get a Big Mac or I'll get nuggets. Like today, I want to go to Chicago and try this one birria place, but nah. But sometimes a fish fillet, but I get it with extra tartar sauce on the side because I feel like if you ask for extra tartar sauce, they put too much. But if you don't ask for extra, it's not quite enough. So I get it for extra sauce on the side and fries. Do you eat them with ketchup? I just started eating them without ketchup like 2 weeks ago. The fries at McDonald's. Oh,
I don't particularly like ketchup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I heard. I think it was on what's his name's podcast. The white dude who performs without a shirt.
Oh, Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, Bert. He had somebody on, and somebody, the dude he used to date, Robin from Howard Stern. I forgot his name.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. He was talking about. I was like, you don't like ketchup, dude. Ketchup sucks. You know what I mean? Only kids like ketchup. He's like, no, I like ketchup. And then he started explaining all these, like, all right, what about this without ketchup? Or what if I was like, you know what? If you have fries, you gotta have ketchup. The fries aren't even that good. And then
that's true.
Yeah.
Like one of my biggest things, especially if I'm eating like barbecue or anything like that, I want to know if this is good without condiments.
Yeah.
Like, is this just good, or are you saucing it up?
Yep.
To hide the fact that it's just trash.
And I never thought about that, and I was like, and then I think that day or the next day, I had some fries without ketchup, and I had a few fries without ketchup. I was like, oh, it's like, is this what I'm doing? Is just putting ketchup on everything? And it's like, and I thought about it, but I was like, oh.
Yeah, it is very, it's very childish. When I see like adults like squirting ketchup all over shit, like I remember I was at IHOP, and we were eating, and I saw like this, and
ketchup on their pancakes.
It was ketchup, and it wasn't on the pancakes, but shit, it might as well been. It was like on everything, on the ham, on the eggs. On the fucking, what is that, hash brown. I was like, bro.
I do it on the hash browns. I do it on scrambled eggs. I got to have some ketchup. I do love, but I get over easy eggs and put a little bit of hot sauce on it.
Oh, yeah. I love fucking spicy and hot sauce. What's your favorite hot sauce?
This isn't my favorite, but this is good to go. That goes with a bunch of things. It's Tapatio. It goes with a lot of different things.
Tapatio is really good. Yeah.
And it goes with a lot of different things, right? And then...
Yeah.
I thought I used to like Valentina, but honestly, I don't think I like it anymore. Like, I would buy it, but I don't know if I...
Wait, which label?
I get the yellow. I don't like the black one.
You don't like the black?
I think it's too much, like, extra... I don't know. I don't... So I'm just back to Tapatio now, because I was like... I ran out of Tapatio, and I had a bunch of Valentina on my... And then I was like... I don't like this. So I have like 8 hot sauces in my house. You know, like I usually have 3 Buffalos. I don't know if you have the little bottle of Buffalo. There's a regular Chipotle or whatever. There's another one with a little bird on it that goes good with like, it has like a limey kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
No, I have like a bunch of, I like Mary Sharp's or certain things, the Belizean one.
Yeah.
There's this Honduran one I get. Because like I said, I usually go to Honduras every year for New Year's, but I didn't go this year because I spent too much money on strippers. Oh, they're not homeless. We're in a library. This is different. Yeah. I don't like that one, whatchamacallit. I just don't like Cholula. I just feel it's weak. Somebody told me it's good with a certain thing, and I'm going to try it. I forgot how they told me.
Cholula is not bad. I actually like Cholula.
I think I'd rather have Tabasco.
Yeah, if I want it doesn't have enough kick.
Yeah.
I like spicy shit. So I was recently down in Kansas City hanging out with my girlfriend, and we went and got Thai food, and she was like, you know, I ordered some green curry, some green chicken curry, Thai curry, and they were like, you know, how hot do you want it? And I turned to her and I was like, oh, you know, how do you do with spices or whatever? And she was like, I don't. And I was like, oh shit, because I do. Like being cognizant of like when I'm baking shit to not be so spicy, because I have to, if I'm cooking for other people, I have to be mindful that not everybody is into the spicy and the heat and shit like that.
No, I love, like, I got a problem though, because I get a lot of heartburn. So I'll eat, like the last few nights I couldn't even sleep because I was drinking so much. Not drinking, but just having so much like spicy food right before bed. And like the last few nights, dude, I got up in the middle of the night and it was just like, yeah, I couldn't.
What did you eat?
I went to my mom's house. I had pozole, and there was like leftover tamales, and then I bought these Chester hot. I've been eating pretty shitty the last few weeks. Because,
everybody has.
Yeah. Because mine was the holidays, and I had my tooth pulled. I had my wisdom tooth taken out like 2 weeks ago. So that first week, I could only have what is it called? I could only have what the fuck was it?
Like soup or something.
No, I could only have a soft food, right? So then I haven't eaten meat. So basically, I was eating all carbs and everything, and it just fucked everything up. And then I didn't go to the gym. I finally went to the gym the first, like Saturday, right? And I went to the gym for the first time.
It's probably packed.
And then the next day I dropped acid, so I lost that whole Sunday. Yeah. With that girl, you know, I drank and did all the drugs, and then
you had to get it out before the new year.
Yeah, so it's like now I think I'm well, yesterday yesterday I had to pick up my cousin from the airport, right? Like at midnight. So it saved me, right? Because I knew I was going to go do this Mike in Milwaukee, and then part of me started like messaging people, and I was like, you know, trying to set something up, and I was like, dude. And then my cousin texted me, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? I was like, perfect. I'm going to behave now. Yeah. So now I'm just, I think I'm just going to focus on food or eating or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I get in trouble, dude. So I'm not gonna. That's why I like this in the summer. I'm gonna work a lot, so it keeps me on. That's why I like to work, because it keeps me on. It's all Brennan too. Same thing. The more we work, and we kind of keeps us out of trouble. We have like free time. I start. I don't know.
Idle mind and hands.
I feel like I got a vice. Yeah, I feel like if I don't like hang out with a girl or do something, like I go to bad food. Like I feel like I got to do something. You know, I got to do something bad if I'm not busy, and it's fucking me up.
I'm one of those where I need a little bit of kick, probably once a month. Okay. Something that is, you know, not in my ordinary routine. Okay. Something. Man, it's just like, I'm trying to like kick bad habits anyway. And so, you know, looking at how I best operate, there's just certain things that I'm just like, you know what? Why don't you just try moderation instead of saying no? Okay. Or reduce it instead of saying no. Okay. Like, for me, that's been one of the things that, because it's what tricks your mind is like, you're like, when you say no, I can't, it's something that's restricted. So now in your mind, you're like, oh, you're lusting after it, even though you just denied yourself that thing, right? Yeah. And so it's like, why did you deny yourself? It was like, oh, because I did this, and it was like, well, that particular thing may have triggered or been a part of it, but the end result was just you. So maybe you just need to like dial it back. Like that's what I had to learn. I used to be fat as hell, dude. And then I realized, like, I know what chocolate tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
I know what a burger tastes like. I know what pizza tastes like. I don't have to eat 12 pieces of pizza.
Yeah, right. Do you eat? My friend, he eats till it hurts. Like I see him and he's laying there and he's like, can you give me some Tums? And he's like, he's in pain.
Yeah, I haven't done that, but it was a disregard. Like I used to drink a lot, eat a lot, whatever, not being cognizant of like how much it affects your mood and all that type of shit. And so
big time food.
And so then just, you know, dialing back and realizing like when I completely starved myself of everything, I was still miserable. Like it caused more anxiety. And then when I was doing shit too excessively, I was depressed.
Yeah.
And so it was like, no, bitch, like find the middle ground of doing too much, doing too little. Find a nice like moderation. Like, okay, so maybe you can't drink every single day. Pick 2 nights out the week where you have a cocktail. You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. I go.
Because you always go, we always have this conversation. Yeah. Like, Giovanni always goes, I have it and no more. Because I had one bad weekend. And it's like, no, like, okay, what about your weekend led you to feel like you needed to do that or that much? You know what I'm saying? That's all. You have to think about it from that perspective.
Yeah, because with the alcohol, like I started drinking again, sort of. Like sometimes I'll have a drink, and that's about it. The weed, I never really smoke weed, so I hit it when I have it. When it's there, I'll smoke weed. And then I do have this edible. Hey, weed is legal. What's that about?
Well, yeah.
Not what that about. Have you bought any legal weed? I'm afraid to buy it because I have guns. And then, I mean, it's legal. I was reading about it, but I want to learn more into it. Have you gone to dispensaries? Have you done one? My friend just called me before I already saw billboards on the way over here. We live in Illinois. Weed just became legal like a few days ago or something.
Yeah.
Have you hit the dispensaries or no?
No.
No?
No. No, I'm still supporting local business.
Okay.
By the independent distributors. No, that's cool that it's, I think I wish people would read more, meaning people talking about like, oh, the taxes. Well, yeah, they clearly stated that they were going to, that was the whole point of even legalizing it. That was actually one of the pros that most of pro-weed smokers use. It's like, you could tax it.
You could tax it, right?
Well, they did. Prices are gonna be higher. Yeah, it always starts out higher. Vegas started out high. Washington started out high. No pun intended. But the prices started high in Washington, Oregon, Colorado, and Vegas that legalized it. And
there's only a few dispensaries. It's like the same thing.
And Michigan was the same way.
It
starts out, and then once more and more people, once there's more variety, and once these bum-ass, greedy-ass medical dispensaries that wanted to be the only operating dispensary open, once they get all their little money, and then we actually allow true capitalism to happen in that market, then the weed prices will drop, and everything will stabilize a little bit.
You think they'll ever legalize cocaine?
I think at this point, everything should be legalized.
I'd like to see cocaine. Like, I don't know if you ever had this thought, like being at a bar, you know, and ordering a shot, and be like, let me get a shot and a bump. I just thought it would be so cool. Do you think about this? I think about this a lot.
Yeah,
it's like, why do I have to go to the fucking bathroom?
Yeah,
well, I don't. All right. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about doing it at the bar.
No, but
you know what? Yeah.
But here's
I'm sticking with it. All right.
Yeah. No. Here's my whole thing, is that there are more people doing drugs responsibly than there are not.
Okay. All right. That makes sense to me.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I know a functioning crackhead. I do drugs.
And I'm not saying be a functioning addict, because that's fucked up. But there are more people doing drugs responsibly than not. I know people that will, on certain occasions, maybe once or twice a month, pick up coke, and that's their weekend. That's what they're doing. And once they're done, they're like, cool. That's their weekend. You know what I'm saying? Or I've seen, people who a joint on at the end of the night is their nightcap. That's their glass of wine. That's their beer. That's their cocktail.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen people have cake every day, and I have seen people drink
cake is worse
every
for
day.
you than weed. Maybe not coke.
You know,
depending on the coke, but cake is worse for you. All that sugar is way worse for you than it is for weed, for sure, and maybe certain levels of cocaine.
Everything in moderation, though.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Nothing is good excessively. Like, nothing is good excessively.
No. I only did. It's weird when I tell people I do coke, because when I got back from Miami, coke is the kind of only thing I do now, is I do cocaine, and I really don't do a lot. Honestly, I keep most of my cocaine for chicks.
Really?
Yeah, really. Because I don't do, this is what I do. I'll do a lot, maybe certain weekends on the way back from a mic. After, I don't do, before I do a mic or any show, I never do anything before. I don't even drink, personally. I only do caffeine or maybe some type of nicotine. I got these little pouches. But I'll do something maybe a little bump after, or if I'm going to, and that's about it. Or sometimes if it's on a Saturday and I have to get work done, I'll do a little bit of coke when I'm there at home and I'm doing work like editing, or even maybe rewriting, maybe not writing, but rewriting or organizing stuff or going over things like.
Oh my God, it's the best.
It's like a little baby Adderall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I use it
yeah.
as that because I don't like taking anything that'll last too. Like I don't like Adderall's what 8 hours for. I don't know. I don't like things that last too long.
Yeah, I actually, man, I got so much work done on Adderall, but I was starving by the end of it. Like,
Oh, because you don't eat, right? You lose your appetite.
Yeah. It definitely is an appetite. I was like by the end of the day, I was like exhausted. I was like, dude, what is going on? And I'm like, bitch, you didn't eat all day. Like, you didn't eat anything. But no, for me, I'm a pothead. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's.
Do you prefer a particular strain, like indicas or sativas you mix, or
Depends
you just
on
whatever?
what mood it is and what type of money I got.
Do you dab? My friend started dabbing. Is that the crystal stuff or whatever? Or?
Yeah.
Huh?
It shattered the, what do you call that? The concentrated shit. Yeah.
The concentrated stuff?
Yeah.
How's that like? I took like a little bit of it once. Or
I prefer flour to
everything. Yeah.
Because it dissipates like that, the smell and shit like that. People are like, I don't like the way it smells. I'm like, honestly, you could not smell a joint before you smell a cigarette. Because like with weed,
cigarette sticks forever.
It sticks forever. With weed, it's like it'll be like boom.
Somebody smokes in your car. That shit's there for like Christmas Eve. This chick smoked in my car.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't there, but it was there for like I had to leave the windows open. Like that shit sticks.
It sticks. It sticks, man. Now for other stuff, I do that every once in a while. There's certain things that I allow myself to do, but I've had to work to get those privileges. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm pretty controlled. Just the only thing I've had issue with was alcohol.
Alcohol, dude.
That's my worst.
I've done coke, acid, Molly, ecstasy,
done that,
shrooms,
done those,
weed, Xans.
I haven't done Xans. Haven't done heroin. Yeah.
I will never touch that shit.
No, I don't think I ever do.
Because I've had it in the prescription pill form.
I did Norcos 2 weeks ago.
Dude, I'm one of those people. I after I did the one Xan, and I did that once, and I was like, I don't get why people do this shit.
What's Xan? What's Xan like? How do you use that?
Bro, all right. I don't think I've ever told this story. So, so I was out and we were hanging out, and there was this the cops just walked past and shit. It just made me paranoid as I'm telling you.
The fuck was that? All right.
But it was went to a concert. My homie was like, he's like, do you gotta work tomorrow? And I was like, no. He's like, I do. Can I take the Molly and you take the Xan? And I was like, sure. Like, you know. So I took the Xan, and we're smoking weed, and we're drinking, pre-gaming.
Do you know what concert?
Before we go to this fucking EDM concert, right? So, all right, so Xanax was not a good drug for that type of setting. I realized that as I'm walking in, and my feet feel like I am walking in fucking quicksand. Like
damn.
like, you know, have you ever taken something and it makes your step heavy? Dude, I knew I was kind of twisted already when the guard, the security guard, she patted me down like multiple times.
Really?
She's like, if you fucked up, we're not gonna tolerate that here. And I was like, I'm good. Like, I was like, dude, how long are you gonna pat me down? Like, and they was like, all right, go ahead. And so then I went in or whatever, and I was like, told my homie, like, I need you to get me like some water or something. And so he was like, because I was just really dehydrated. Like, I wasn't nauseous. I didn't throw up. It was that I was just like, dude, like, I need some water. So then it started kicking in even more, chucked down the water. Everybody's getting into it, and I'm just chilling off to the side, and I realized, like, everybody's kind of in front of me, like, looking at the concert, and I'm kind of in the back because it wasn't packed. So I'm behind the crowd of people looking at them, and this kid comes up to me, and he's like, hey. And he just starts waving his hand, like his hands in front of my eyes. He's like, hey. And I was like, what, dude? I'm just chilling here. And he was like, yo, come on and dance with us. And I was like, no, dude, chilling, man. Like, I'm here. Like, I am planted here. I cannot. And he's like, dude, what the fuck are you on? I was like, man. Like, yeah, I know the next day I was like, I will never ever do it was have you seen the movie Get Out?
Yeah.
You know the scene where she says sink and then
he can't move,
and then that's exactly how I felt, bro.
Oh, that used to happen to me. You ever get it's a sleep thing when you wake up? I forgot what it's called. Not tremors or something.
Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get up and your eyes open, and maybe you can move. For me, I would get up, I can move my fingers or something, but I can't move the rest of my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would be like, just I couldn't move. I fix it now where I sleep. I turn my head a little bit, but that would happen to me a lot. I get up, and then I couldn't fucking move. Except so it's like my body, my mind woke up, but the rest of my body wasn't. I had no control of it, and I'm just stuck. Like you're paralyzed.
Yeah. I'm just watching the show, like enjoying it, but I'm like watching it as if I'm watching me watching the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I will. So that shit, I do not fuck with.
I'm gonna try Xans. I'm just curious now. Like I feel like. Because they're not addictive, are they? Right, like heroin or something like that. Well, honestly,
addiction. Except besides heroin, I think addiction for most.
It's mostly mental, right? Yeah. Except for like heroin, and then because the only thing like I said is
heroin
alcohol.
I heard is like pretty immediate.
Yeah.
I heard it's like an immediate. That's the reason why I would never fucking do it.
Yeah, right.
I would never, like, if somebody was like, hey, got this H, you want to go shoot up? I don't know if that's how that's the lingo, heroin lingo. I don't know if they call it H or. Oh, I don't know. Like back in the day, they used to call it white boy, but.
And nowadays, heroin has got tainted by that. What is it? The new stronger horse tranquilizer that's killing fentanyl. That's killing. Yeah, this Chinese fentanyl that's killing everybody. So no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't fuck. I wouldn't fuck with. You ever do a? Do you smoke before shows? Do you smoke before shows?
Yeah. If I have time. I'm not gonna like jeopardize. Like I've seen comedians like try to almost hold up the show so that they can smoke weed. It's like, fam, this is like I enjoy smoking before going up, but it's not necessary.
Okay, all right. Like you feel like you feel like you gotta be high.
Like it's a nice way to like kind of set myself and like what do you call it, like meditate and shit. I always like to meditate and visualize before I perform. And run over my set, but as far as like, I need to go, no, dude. No. I can go with. I prefer. I like it because it relaxes me. And it forces me to focus. So I'm not exerting mental energy towards stupid shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to never smoke, but one time I smoked on accident before a show or before a mic, and I started smoking. Like I hit a pen after I left work, and I hit it too hard because I was just gonna take a baby hit. I was like, this is gonna wear out by the time I get to this mic, but then it didn't, and I got really high. And by the time of the mic, I was still high, and I was like, I'm pacing, and it's like, fuck, it's my time to go. And then finally, I went up, and it actually helped me because I slowed down a little bit, right? So then I started doing it every time. I took little hits before shows, except one time at Josephine's, I took too much of a hit before, right? And then I was up there, and I was telling a joke, and I told a joke. And it didn't hit. And I was like, it's something I was probably trying. I was like, all right, whatever. Then I went with something else, like, all right, that didn't hit. And I was like, fuck. I was like, let me do a joke to bring him back. Something that'll bring him back that I know, tried and true. And I did that. I probably didn't even do it right. and I did it, and it didn't hit. And I was like, usually, that wouldn't hit in my head, in my head, normally in sober me would have been like, all right, that didn't fucking hit. Like, what's all right? Well, what am I doing? I'd maybe be laughing at myself, like, come on, what the fuck is?
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like,
I was like, that didn't hit. I was like, really? Like, what the fuck?
Sometimes I'm like, it's the open mic. Like, sometimes there's nights where I'm like, y'all being really petty tonight. like y'all are being really petty. Ain't no sweat off my back. Like, I'm like, I don't, And hey, I don't know who's gonna listen to this. Yo. Stop. This shit. I just have to get this off.
All right,
Thank you for having me on, by the way.
Thank you.
Do not come up to me and be like, I don't even know what your set looks like. I don't even know you do material. And like, it just seems like I do material. I'm working out shit every time I go up. My whole goal was to get to a performance style where it doesn't quite look like I'm doing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So people... Are people
other
asking if you're like writing
have
on
been
stage
like,
or
I've
something?
Other comedians have been like, you will never do the same set twice. I do, first off. But two, it just doesn't look the same.
Okay.
Like, I'll switch up, or like I'll use a tag as a punchline or a throwaway line just to see if it'll connect.
Okay.
And it's a part of another joke. I don't need to tell the whole joke.
Okay.
I'll do shit like that, so it looks very,
How do you write? Do you write on paper? I write
on everything.
Okay.
Like I write on paper. If I'm struggling with something, I'll take it to pen and paper because then I can figure it out. If it's just like brand new and I need to get it down, I'll just put it in my phone.
Okay.
And then if I need to go back to get a tag or see if something worked, then I'll just go to my recordings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you listen to this stuff. Do you tape every once in a while?
Video?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That's the one thing I try to do more now because I've caught certain things that things that I didn't know I was doing, and I was like, what the fuck? Like one I caught when I was recording, I don't do anymore, is I would start touching the mic stand. But like, it's not like I'm playing with it. I would just touch it. I'd be over there. I'd be like, oh, and I go and I would just tap it.
Yeah.
It was weird. I was like, and I looked at myself, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just there. I'll be talking, and then I would just touch it like that. It was pretty weird. So then I was like, oh shit. So now I always move far away so I don't go over there and mess with it. It's not I'm messing with it. It's just like that. Like,
I think it's also like the reason why I started doing shit like that and like just trying different writing stuff is because one of the things, and I shouldn't even give a fuck, like we shouldn't give a fuck about this, but it did help me figure out how to perform better, was when I heard comedians complaining about other comedians always doing the same material.
Okay.
And so I was just like, okay, like we don't, and I was like, yeah, we are kind of the audience though. Like we shouldn't give a fuck, but we should a little bit give a fuck.
You do. I do.
You know what I'm saying? And
I try not to, but I do.
And which is honest. Like anybody's like, I don't care about the comedians. Like you shouldn't only care about
the comics, right? Yeah.
You shouldn't only care about the comics, but to have we do have to have some type of litmus, and we're out there so frequently. We do want to see funny shit or something that's interesting or spontaneous, or you know what I'm saying. And so like what I started doing was I started purely not going up with anything because it forced me to think on my feet, get better at certain things. But I was already pretty much, I thought, pretty set in writing by that point. But all of that leads me to say is that like one of my favorite people to watch, and it's because of that like spontaneity, that freedom of like, this is for both sides, is Ian. I love watching Ian, and his stand-up has gotten so fucking good. Like he's been having the turns that he makes, like if you want to, Ian Ellis, Podbean, all that good stuff. Philip Wave. He
open mic. I forgot what his Instagram is. It's
Chicago Open Mic. Yeah.
There you go. Chicago Open Mic.
But like watching him dig out of, because he'll start in some places where people are like, and then the way that he flips it, I'm like, dude, that shit is so fucking dope. As a comedian, I enjoy watching comedians like take a risk and fail. Like after a certain point, I'm like, what are you really working on with this joke that you're doing at, showcases and auditions and the open mics that I've seen? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point like everybody's like, oh, well, you know what they're working on. No, I do know what they're working on because I'm doing the same shows that they're doing.
Yeah.
So I do know what they're working on, and there is no difference between what they're doing in this open mic and what they're doing on a show.
And a show, right?
Yeah, so that's bullshit. Like, that's a cop-out. Like, we should, like, I'm not saying, like, I'll do old material if I need to polish it or figure something out with it. But to hop in front of your peers' face who work at that and you see them at mics and to sit up there and lie about, oh, well, I'm doing it. Motherfucker, you know there's only 2 real people in this audience. Why don't you toss something out for the comedian homies?
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about? Something. Yeah, like, what the fuck? Well, I'm doing it for the people. There's the bartenders. There are nights where it is just the comedians. Why are you, like, that's always, like, when they say experienced comics and then they go up and do a set, and I probably shouldn't say this, but when you do that, I'm like, and it's all comedians, I'm like, all right, I can understand maybe getting off a couple of jokes or whatever, and then be like, hey, you know what, let me let loose or let me try something. Or those are when we have that opportunity where it's a lot of comedians in the crowd, that's when we should take the biggest risk.
Yeah.
And because there's that acknowledgement of like, oh, I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like there's a part of people that's like, ooh, I got to keep working on whatever fucking joke. And then there's another part of people that's like, ooh, I need to, impress for some bullshit.
Yeah, I almost changed my set on Thursday because those chicks were there. But I was like, no, let me not. Because I was like, I wanted to go to more show. And I was like, no, there was those teachers there or whatever, those 3 chicks, those 3 white chicks. And I was like, should I change? And I was like, no, I gotta kind of work on this and kind of do that. So then I didn't. Because Josephine is like, it's a place I'll go to where if there's something brand new that I've never done, usually I'll do it there first.
Yeah,
that's my first, place I'll go to.
If you can break a joke, there's certain mics that, like, if I can break a joke there, it's usually going to work in the city and in the sub. It's going to work anywhere.
Yeah.
There's, like, Mojo's is one. And then Josephine's is another one. Where if you can break a joke there, what I mean is, like, if you can pull a nice little chuckle out of it, like then on the, a lob, or you just throwing it out there or kind of figuring it out, then that's super, super dope.
Yeah. And
those are good places to do that. And you need those places. And you got to find those places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's certain places in the city where I won't for sure, dude. Because if it's, especially if let's say the subject material is a little bit like, I won't say edgy, but a little bit more whatever. Like, I'm not doing it there for the first time because I'm going to see, I don't know, people are more, there's certain places in the north side where it's like, sensitive or judge, or it's like, it's not, so I won't do it there, right? There's certain jokes I wait until a little bit more polished before I do it there, because it could come off harsh if it doesn't hit.
That's what I was saying about, like, when it's a predominantly artist or like comedians mic. Sometimes I'm like, how do we not have enough empathy for the artist perspective to allow comedians to fail?
Yeah,
to take the risk, to try something, to go left, to be something beyond. Like, it's always interest, like, oh, well, this person and this person. I've seen so many posts about what comedy should and shouldn't be by people.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, there's not one way to do this shit. Dude, there's some of my favorite comedians, like, if you read their stories and, like, how they end up where they ended up, none of their paths are identical, but they obtained what they wanted to. And I think that's, once you realize that, you can be a lot more supportive. But when you are limited in your creativity, in your skill set, which is what happens sometimes, those people end up moving into certain aspects of performing, whether it be like, I hate to do it like this because it's not all, and I'm not saying all, but they'll move into like production or something else that's aligned with that, and then kind of create boundaries and create rules and lists and cliques and things to align, because their skill set and their perspective of what it is.
Yeah.
So they create the boundaries like, no, my skill set is the litmus. And if you guys are not in that, then it doesn't count. It's like, no, you just made that shit up.
It's like, no, and it's
made that up.
You see it every week. It's always something new. Like, it's like, okay, why are you spending? Just go right, go do something. It's like, why are you spending this energy?
Go look at all right, this is what I would tell, like, if you're like a 2, 3, 4 year comedian, right? Hang around like a club or whatever. See comedians that you like, right? And then I want you to go listen to their podcast, like a podcast, and then check out their social media page. Every one of the comedians that's really doing something that I appreciate are not the comedians that's like, hey, you should be doing this, and it's like this. They are some of the most encouraging, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird to me that, like, how are you sitting up here? It's art. Why would you want to create any boundary for it? Just let people do their thing, let it live, and give people
this is how they're learning. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Safety net to fail. That's what
they're trying to figure it out too.
Yeah, and as another artist, you should be sympathetic with that, because when you want to leap, they're gonna be there with that safety net, being like, hey, you tried that, that's cool. It's okay. It didn't work out, but figure out how to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
You seen that clip with Patrice, right? When he's defending Aimee or whoever, Don Aimee?
Yeah, who just died.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he died, rest in peace, 2 weeks ago.
We don't need to rest in peace.
Oh, because the nappy-headed, yeah.
Wow, he's sitting up there looking like a nappy-headed hell. What the fuck he talking about?
But that's what it was over there, right? Yeah. Or O&A or something like that.
I think it was like the women's Syracuse team.
And before that, I swear it's right when you were talking about Zans. Did that cop? We're in the library right now. The cop walked by the window, and did he knock or something?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I turned around.
No, first off, all right, I'm gonna keep it real. These cops in here, it's low key. I'm out running them. Okay. And I smoke.
What are they just checking out homeless people? What's going on?
I think so, dude. I think so. But hey, these dudes they are not missing any of the snack time.
Are they a couple? Have you been watching them at all or no? I just noticed this white chicken black dude. Wait, did I just reverse the race? Hold on, let me turn around. White dude and black chick. They're
probably because Aurora University. Aurora University is right down the street. Wabanzi Valley is right down the street. Okay. Community college.
She doesn't look interested in this conversation.
Yeah, they look like college students.
Okay, all right.
When you still wearing a whole like matching hat and glove fit, you still in college.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Because when you get grown, you like you don't mind the mismatch.
Yeah.
But she got the white hat, the white glove,
and she got the white shoes too.
Yeah, she got those. She in college, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what this dude's talking about.
They got nice little laptops and shit, trying to look collegiate.
Oh, they got look. He has his phone on his laptop screen.
Yeah, they are not doing a damn thing. They're complaining.
They got a Bluetooth speaker.
They got a Bluetooth speaker. They're complaining about a professor, right? Like, man, I hate finance. 1601. Hate this fucking professor. This bitch.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to all the kids in college that's cheating right now, because that's the majority of them.
Do people still go to like, man? I don't know. I tell. Where'd you go to school?
College?
Yeah.
NIU.
Oh, did Cal? How was that like? Did you party?
Oh,
I went there once to party. That's it.
Hell yeah.
And then, right?
Yeah, it was. I had a scholarship. I was a scholarship kid, and so I had to do activities on campus. That was a part of my scholarship, and then I wrote for the newspaper, the Northern Star.
The Northern Star.
And then I worked at the Village Commons bookstore, the VCB.
Okay.
And I was in a band, and so I was doing all this shit, and I stayed on campus, and it was just a fun ass campus, just to kind of bump around. You know, I would take walks. Me and my friends would take walks in between, because it had some good walkways. I love walking. And they had some good like pathways that we would just go smoke on and stuff like that in between classes.
Did you go to any football games?
Oh hell yeah!
Who was it? When
I was going, it was Mike Turner.
I was gonna say it was Michael Turner. I was about to say it was Michael Turner around when you went. Yeah.
My roommate went to high
North
school.
Chicago. He went to North Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm down.
My homegirl Krisha. She graduated from, I think it was Waukegan.
Yeah. We're right. Yeah, it's just south of Waukegan, North Chicago Beach Park.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yeah. And he was there, and I was my roommate, my homegirl Krisha. She came up with Mike. Like, she used to babysit in college. She used to babysit his son Mike Jr.
Yeah, but people don't know Michael Turner. He went to the NFL.
Yeah, he was with the Falcons for a little bit. He was with New Orleans for a little bit.
Yep. Power back, and then so it was Michael.
Thick thigh.
You guys had another one too that went to the Bears for a little bit. He was a skinnier dude. He wasn't as big. Like, I don't know, it was Jared or something like that.
Yes, I know you're talking. Garrett. Yeah,
Garrett. Garrett, but Michael Turner was a beast in college.
Yeah, and we did. And I had my one friend. She was dating one of the football players. He was like a lineman, and then one of my homegirls, she's fuck buddies with he went on to play for San Francisco for a little bit, and then ended up on their you know how they have opposing team for them to practice with. Mm-hmm. He ended up on that team because you make about $250,000.
The practice squad over there, right? The practice squad.
You make pretty good money on that. Homie did
were you doing comedy when you were in college? When did you start?
I wrote my first set when I was 19, but way too shy to do it.
Okay.
And so I started when I got laid off from teaching, and I was really depressed and shit. And I was like, I think I can do this. And I wrote out a set, like looked up how do you do it, because Google's amazing. And wrote out my first set, and I was like, I'm gonna go do this. I'm not gonna tell them it's my first time. If it's whack, I ain't doing this shit no more.
No, okay.
And I went up there and
Where'd
I
you
did
go?
that. I went to the Comedy Shrine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I did that, and yeah.
Do you remember who was hosting? Who was there at the time?
I'm not exactly sure who was hosting.
Do you remember what you talked about?
Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm.
Like what was it? Not jokes, but premises or what?
Premises were this is one of the joke that like I want to bring back now because it's not a bad premise. I just think I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
I had a premise about how I got tired of seeing like have you ever seen tourist ads for a place and you like, should you be advertising for tourism
like
right
Delaware
now?
or something like that? Yeah.
Like I saw a tourism ad for Afghanistan and I was like,
for real?
Dead ass serious.
For real?
Dead ass serious. You think I'm playing?
Yeah. What, Afghanistan for real?
Yeah.
What?
I don't even know how it popped up, but it popped up and I was like, no.
Jihad? Like what the fuck? What are you gonna get out of Afghanistan?
Like they were like, oh, the fields and the luscious mountains, and I was like, because there've been people who have gone to travel to Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? So like I get it, because like for instance, there's been issues in like when there was issues in Gaza Strips. I had friends going to Egypt.
Yeah.
Like so, but it was just so funny because I was like, what's going on?
Why pyramids though in Egypt? Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
There's mountains other places. Why you got to go to Afghanistan?
I heard Afghanistan from my friends who served, and just in general that it's actually really fucking beautiful when it's not being bombed and blown up and shit. Yeah.
So should we take a trip?
No, I'm not going to Afghanistan.
To Afghanistan.
Yeah, I would love to be like the old artist, like they used to go back in the day. Like I have, I just want to walk through Tunisia or some shit like that.
Where's Tunisia? I know the name from like Seinfeld.
It is on the northern tip of Africa.
Oh,
right off where you could get to Spain and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
it's right up there.
Remember that movie that won a bunch of? I never saw it.
Casablanca?
No, won a bunch of awards. They were in Africa and they were in a war, maybe like 12 years ago. There was a white dude. He was a soldier. It was like the year before Life. It Was Beautiful won it. No, I feel like they were in Tunisia or something like that. No, all right, I don't remember the name. But there was a
white dude was in the war.
White dude, there was a war, World War I or II, and then all right. Anyway,
okay.
But I think it was in Tunisia or something like that. Or like all the Northern African war part of the war. Like it was one of those, yeah.
Gotcha, Morocco and all those type of I would definitely Tunisia is. And I loved, like, I don't know if it was Anthony Bourdain or something. I saw like a tourist guide through Tunisia, some shit, and I saw it. That's probably how I landed on Afghanistan or some shit. But I saw it, and it was just so beautiful. And it's all these street markets, and, I was like, oh, that'd be really cool, like, to do, like, 2 weeks in Tunisia and then go up to Spain for, like, 3 weeks and then go to Paris for, like, another 3 weeks and shit like that.
a lot of
Go to like Ghana, you know, or Nigeria or something like that. Would be cool. Yeah.
Idi Amin was from Ghana, right? He was a dictator, or maybe somewhere in the Sudan. But no, I did see a comic the other day. They're like doing on a trip. They're like they're in Europe and they're in some other trip, and I'm just like, I didn't. Does he have money like that, or does his parents have money, or I don't know. I was just thinking about it.
It depends.
Yeah.
Some people will live a very cheap life so they can travel.
Yeah.
And they just budget for it, and that's their thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like going out to movies and shit like that, they just, you know, because like if you're doing it by yourself, you can cut a lot of fucking costs.
Tito used to travel. You know Tito? He's on the cities. He's Puerto Rican Mexican. He would, he had a bunch of saved up. He trapped just with a book bag, whatever. He did that. He did it for a few years. He's been in like, I don't forget how many countries. Yeah. He did that. Yeah. And just he would stay in hostels and things like that with other travelers. He's been in a bunch of places.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I would love to do way more traveling. Like I used to watch Anthony Bourdain's show. I was like, dude, that is the dopest job ever. Like to just be able to travel and kind of interact and get into the culture and eat really good food. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Food. I don't like traveling though. You don't really?
No, I don't like. No, like I don't. I like being in airports.
You were the first and the last person to ever say that. Nobody is like, I like being at airports.
I don't know. I just like looking at everybody at airports and like watching all the different people. And like when people are leaving and doing, I don't know. I like watching people at airports. I like that. I like being on planes. I like sleeping. Or I don't, you know what? Because I don't have internet on planes. So now it's my little sanctuary. It's like the only place where I can just kind of like relax a little bit when I'm on a plane. Like, you know that meditation you do after a car? It's like my only it's in a plane. I lay it on a plane. There's no social media because I think I'm at like a few weeks ago or maybe a few months ago I did the social media. I only did it 3 times a day. When I woke up, sometime around lunch, and then maybe one time in the afternoon or in the evening, and that was it. So I wouldn't let myself scroll, but I would if I was at a show or something. If I wanted to take a few pictures or check in or something to promote, that's it. But no scrolling, right? And those few days, I was the most productive I really was. And then I don't know.
You might have to use that one.
Huh?
You might have to use that one.
Oh, that
more.
was good, dude. It was just boom. It was like emails checking at this, and that's it. But then I broke it one day. I broke it a little bit, and I've been off. Is it off the wagon or on the wagon or something like that? So that's why I think I like planes, and they're like, you know what?
It kind of forces you to.
I don't think why I like because I'm always around and I go to work and go to mics. I'm always like out. Yeah. So sometimes I'm relaxed just being because I'm never home. I don't get home till like 11:30 or close to midnight.
Same.
So it's like fuck, and then it's like, yeah. And I have this anxiety now where if I'm not doing something, I feel like, man, I should be writing or doing something. But now
something productive.
Yeah. But now, unless I like redline myself, and then I'll take a day where I don't do shit, and then it's like, oh, this is fine. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll need those every once in a while.
Yeah.
But the traveling, I don't know. I don't know. I like being home.
Really,
I like being home. It's like
I like being home. I like being home too. But if I'm at home, I like cooking or something. Just like listen to some music and cook some shit.
I don't know. Or maybe right now I'm just scared to travel. I feel like I'm gonna do bad stuff or spend money. I'm still traumatized from spending those.
You really are. That Miami trip really fucked you up, dude, man.
Because before the Miami trip, a few months before that, I spent like $2,300 like 2 days with some other stripper I slept with, and then it's like, and I'm gonna be in Miami in like in a week. No, actually, my buddy moved up to Hollywood, Florida, so I'm an hour away from Miami. So I think I'm just gonna go there and just try to eat. Like, you ever do this? Like, you eat before, so you can't go out. No. So I'll do that. Like, I'll get off of I'm done with my work or mics or anything, and it's like part of me wants to maybe go to the bar or hit up some girls. So I purposely go eat. So I'm full. So it goes away. But I have been in the place where I've eaten and it's like, all right, now I'm tired. I don't want to eat shitty food. I'm tired. I'm not gonna go to the bar now. I'm not gonna do that.
That's a nice little hike though.
But the problem is, like, sometimes I've eaten and I've had a girl hit me up and I'm like, all right, I went to the bathroom and threw that shit up. Yeah. And then
what?
Yeah, I've done that a few times. It's like, oh shit, we're going. I was like, you know what? I go in the bathroom, threw up everything I just ate, brush my teeth, and then get to partying. No, it's a
No, why would you throw up food? That's one of the things that keeps your like high stable.
no, because I'm gonna lose. I won't be able to catch a buzz if I have all this food in me, or I wouldn't want to go out and drink. No.
No.
Well, that's what I would do.
Okay.
That's why That's why I wanted to pull back from women and things like that, because I don't know. I feel like when it's the alcohol and the women together, that's when I fucking do stuff like that.
Get crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm at the house just having drinks, I'm not gonna do anything. But if it's like when the late, even you know what,
the amount of power that pussy has over
that's
you
what I was
is
thinking
amazing,
about.
dude.
When I was thinking about this Scott Storch, I was watching his interview with Scott Storch, and he was talking about this all that money he blew.
Dude, oh my god, dude! I've watched his interviews and his documentary.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. No,
you haven't watched his documentary?
No, I just saw a little bit of. I don't know if it was with Sway or it was with Charlemagne, but he was talking about like they asked him how'd you blow, and he's like, I don't know. He's like that coke, but then
dude, he would be up
pussy.
like just like him and bitches would be up doing coke, and he'd just be ordering random shit. He said. Like he said one day,
I almost did that the other day. I was with this chick. I was like, man, I was like, what's up? You want to buy something? What? And I was, oh god, what? I gotta watch this. Dude.
Yeah, dude, watch his
See
documentary, dude. Like he did a whole bunch of coke, had chicks over and shit. They drinking, doing coke, and this motherfucker's up tweaking, and he like bought like 5 cars.
No.
Yeah. So they like came and dropped the shit off, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And he was like, "Yeah, you ordered this." He's like, okay, well, I guess that's what's happening.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, dude, really?
Yeah.
I gotta watch. Yeah, I'm gonna watch some of him and some.
Did you watch the Kevin Hart documentary?
No. It's good. Watch it.
I haven't watched it. Everybody said it's pretty good.
Somebody said, but he was a non-comic, so I don't know. I didn't take it.
No, I think well,
okay.
You know what? Wait, hold on.
I have different types of friends, and this is
Okay.
all right. But yeah.
What I was gonna say was, what I've noticed is, and this might be the reason why I haven't watched it,
Oh.
is because there was like, I saw a trailer for his, because like I said, I don't keep up with shit like that, so I was just on YouTube, twiddling my fingers, watching NBA shit, and Drake shit popped up. It was like, oh, interview with Drake, and this, and I'm like, all right. So I scroll past that, and everybody's talking about how like, oh, that's great interview with Drake, and he's really letting people I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I see one for Justin Bieber of like, hey, this is an intimate look at my life. This is a serious documentary on what I've been going through, and And then I realized like there's the Kevin Hart one, and I was like, dude, enough with these fucking celebrities doing these.
Yeah.
You listen, they're trying to do so that people don't get stupid from it. It is all marketing ploy to sell something else. Like these genuine looks into their lives.
Oh, okay.
Is not really a genuine look into
Like
their
right
life.
before
Do you
this is
think
coming
these
out.
really controlled people like that just let behind the scenes run rampant like that? You're getting what they want you to see of this behind the scenes real life bullshit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just like, that's the reason why part of me hasn't watched it, because this turned into the new marketing culture. The new marketing culture for like 2020 celebrities is to appear genuine. No. Try again.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting and watching a documentary of you and, you looking sad or drunk and it's black and white, and you're in the studio bobbing your head. I don't want to see nobody's. I don't want to see that shit. Like, and then you release your art and it doesn't align with any of that. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Yeah, unless Drake is talking about grooming, I don't want to fucking see it.
Grooming.
When you talk to an underage girl and you set them up so when they turn 18, you fuck them.
Is he really doing
Dude,
that?
he's a fucking, like, this is the thing, man. I'm a big Drake fan, and I'm a big, and even me, like, I was like, fuck, man. Like, it's, I try to ignore it, you know what I mean? Like, I try. Like, I'm sure people try to.
But what has been really said about that? Like, what is the proof?
Okay.
Because
the girl he was with, he
Okay.
met before she was 18. I don't even know if he's with her anymore, but I think there's more than a few examples that girls he's like, he sets up, he starts getting friendly with them. Like, he's friendly with 11 from Stranger Things or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
It seems like he has a history a pattern of being friendly and then dating the chick when they turn 18.
Really?
And that bothers me. You know what I mean? Like,
really? Who has? I don't even know. Drake looks like the dude that just.
like, you can get pussy. Why are you doing this? I don't know.
No, and he
Maybe-
does
okay.
get pussy. That's the funny part about it is I'm like, why are you grooming young girls when you could just have?
Yeah, and it's like, fuck. And I've been trying to ignore it for a while, but it's like now it's.
And
I
that's
keep
a
seeing
weird.
it, yeah.
That's a weird juxtaposition of that, and then his whole, baby mama kid situation.
Yeah, that stripper chick or whatever.
Yeah, that's like such a juxtaposition that it's kind of like it makes he.
I just
If
thought of
that
something.
shit is true, then that is very weird and Woody Allen-esque that people are
Maybe
just
you know what?
letting it rock.
Maybe he's thinking in his head like, all right, all these girls are meeting me that are meeting me for money. They're all hoes. They're all gold diggers. I want some. Maybe he's like, I want somebody who's not. What is it? Not stained. Like not ruined by this industry. That's why he goes younger. I don't know. I just thought of that right now.
Yeah,
it
but
could-
they're still in the industry, right?
I'm not. Are they? Yeah. Yeah. One of them was a model.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure
He's a
they're
fucking
still in
pervert.
some type of industry.
Right.
I had a student that was a model, like a legit model, like that was modeling in like Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week and shit like that. And she said, yeah, it gets pretty fucking wild. Even to this day, yes, the modeling industry is wild. She's like, don't let anybody tell you not. She's like, you have to be smart and choose not to be because it's so easy. Everything is, and anybody and everything is accessible.
Yeah. Right. And I would think if you're a hot chick, you have all these people offering you
And
everything,
right.
everything and anything.
Yeah.
Especially older dudes. I mean, I offer younger chick stuff. Not younger, like fucking Drake, but
Yeah.
like early 20s or something like that. I'll offer them. I'll offer them things. I'll buy shit.
Drake need to date a chick that's like a kindergarten school teacher. For real, he need to date like somebody that, because he doesn't have the alpha male in him.
No.
He was
was
very
raised
beta
by his
to
mom,
me.
right?
Yeah, he seems
yeah.
very beta to me.
He's soft. He's Drake.
Yeah, so
His feelings.
yeah, so he probably tossing some money at some little thoughts to smash. And when you like a lame and you ain't used to having it, even though Drake has been getting it for like 15, 16, 17 years now, probably even longer than that, like 20 years. He's been getting it for a long time. It's like, hey, check a pulse, Drake, and turn around.
Yeah.
All of your peers are in serious relationships with like kind of women that are kind of doing something with themselves.
Yeah.
Like his peers. Like J. Cole.
Kanye, Jay-Z. Well, they're a little different generation.
They're a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
older, but
Yeah,
like if
you're right.
you look at like the J. Cole's married, family, Kendrick married, family, you know what I'm saying? Some type of, even the Big Sean is pretty you know what I'm saying? Like, and not to get into bullshit like that, but it's just like, dude, like, okay, that's how you know when you're lame. That's what I loved about the like Pusha T beef. And when was like, I love the moment of somebody coming in and saying, yo, being an adult doesn't have to suck. Why are you running from it? Why are you still? Because to me, Drake has been being like the 23, 24-year-old dude for a long time. And I'm pretty sure he's in his 30s, well into his 30s.
And he might have gotten fake abs too.
Those are definitely fake abs.
Those are fake abs too?
Yes.
Fucking Drake, dude.
Dude, he probably has fake calves, fake titties, fake.
What's that quote from Batman? If you live long enough, you become the
villain.
Yeah, or your heroes or
Heroes become the villains.
Yeah. This has happened to me. What was the name of your podcast?
The Happy Corner Podcast.
The Happy Corner Podcast. When did you guys start that? How did you guys start that one? Who decided who or what? How did that get going?
Man, we started it out a few years
You and
back.
Aimee Blaze.
Me
Sorry.
and Aimee Blaze, and Timmy's a part of it too, and so is Sterling.
Timmy and Sterling.
But we started it as we were trying to do this cartoon show, and kind of come up with some shit, and that kind of fell through. Typical comedian shit, you know how that goes. But we did like hanging out and talking with each other. And so we were like, oh, we should do a podcast, And so we started doing it, and, we would have these smoke breaks. I would have these smoke breaks before the show or whatever. And and we'd have breaks or whatever, and we'd like, oh, what should we call it? And we wanted to give an homage, like a little nod to what we were doing without it being too on the nose. So we came up with the Happy Corner Podcast, which is THC Podcast.
THC. Oh, for this one, I never even. Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. THC Podcast.
Yeah. So it's a nice little, what I love about it is like there are people that still have no clue.
I just found out right now.
Yeah, that's what it is, and it's so funny that people, because it's right in front of you. It's like literally right there, like we're saying, hey, and then, I love shit like that.
And you have that? You have a segment on that, right? Where you talk like, what's
yeah.
No, what is it like? What's the thirstiest thing you ever done for a chick or something like that?
What have you done for that dick or pussy?
Yeah, that one, right? Yeah, I always think about that as far as pregnant, because I've noticed I've done. I've done a lot of
funny is me and Aimee. I told Aimee, I was like, dude, Giovanni would be so good for it.
I've done so many, dude. It's like I was thinking, because I've always, there's premises and things like that. So back up the things that I like. I've woken up in Kenosha. That's why I land the fucking. I don't even the drugs. I woke up in Kenosha. I've done a bunch of stuff, and it's like, so that's why. All right, in 2 weeks, I think I'm gonna go back to cutting off maybe all ladies for a little. You see, I always go extreme, right? Yeah. I have no moderation. I got to cut everything off. I got to figure that out, dude. I got to figure that out.
I also want to know, what type of chicks are you? You don't seem like you have a type.
I like really innocent or hoes. Kind of like, I like super lame, like whatever, or super hoish, or it's like, I get attracted to like super hoey Puerto Ricans. I mean, did I say super? Let me rephrase that. Puerto Ricans. No. And I really get attracted.
Don't do the Puerto Ricans like that. I ain't gonna let Giovanni step on your necks like that. Hey, Giovanni, don't do the Puerto Ricans.
I attack Puerto Ricans a lot, but I guess I got a soft spot for Puerto Rican women. Like the earrings that. So it's really holy.
Do all Puerto Rican women do they have like signature earrings?
No. But the hoops, it's white girls can't wear hoops. What's the big deal? Whatever. Anyway,
that's what I was gonna say. Who gives a shit? Every woman has a good pair of hoops.
Yeah.
So.
But it's like has to be kind of really kind of a lame, or then I get attracted to like the other side.
Why?
I don't know. I got to figure that out. I don't know what it is, but it's like
two extremes though.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
You tend to like the extremes.
Yeah, I like the extremes.
When's your birthday?
May 15th.
What
I'm
is
a Taurus.
You're a Taurus?
I don't know what that means.
Shit, yeah. You
I
know what's funny is that like it's I don't like people be like, I don't believe in that fucking astrology shit. And then you're like, what sign are you? And then when somebody says something like that, and then you're like, yeah. Like that makes sense. Like the reason why I say that, it's not because of the sign, but it is, but it's because my brother is that same sign, and he's the exact same way. He's the exact same way. It is he's an extremist.
Yeah, I'm like 0 to. I'll fast. I'll go super low carb or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
my brother will like go out on like a coke and drinking binge, and then like 2 weeks later be like reading the Bible all day, super sober, running in the morning. Like it's that makes sense.
It's weird because like I woke up, I got drunk, and I was doing coke with this chick. Woke up in Kenosha. Woke up, my car parked in the street in Kenosha. I have no idea. I got there 7 in the morning. Wake up, I see the lights. I'm like, drove home, slept for an hour, went to work still, and went to work. Probably hit and it's like, so I gotta find that balance. I gotta find that because mine's like, it's I go extremes. You know what I mean? I'll get super productive work, and then I'll have a night where I'll wild out completely. And so I gotta find, like I think I'd be. I don't know. Maybe I should look for some. I don't know. I was talking to St. James about it, like, because he has a girl now, and I feel if you're in a relationship, you're more stable. I have
not seen that motherfucker. I feel like I have not seen St. James in a while.
No, I mean, but I still see him out. I'll see him. I feel like I just saw him at a mic.
Yeah, I'm sure he out micing and shit, but I just haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't seen. It's like a
but
blur.
He's been a little bit more quiet lately, and I was like,
but his girl is a comic, so he's out there. You know what I mean? So he's
no matter what, you get a little quiet when you get in a relationship as a comic.
Yeah. There was somebody
and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying he's not doing shit. I mean like, your social media, gets a little bit.
Yeah, you don't have nobody to impress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff I put on social media is for comedy, and some of it is like, look, so some chicks can see it, so I can get laid.
Really?
Yeah. Well, on my Snapchat maybe, or shit like that.
Really?
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Look, I'm single. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like, so it's like certain things I'll do or put up just for that. It's really just for that. At the end of the day, like I know it is for that. Yeah.
I post purely like I come off as a cynic, but I'm super optimistic, you know, and. For me, but I'm also always, like, I'm a dreamer, and I'm always wondering about shit and thinking about shit. And one of the things I've realized is, like, man, this shit is so futile. Like, it's so pointless. I don't like social media shit. So, like, I just try to...
It's fake.
So I just want to, like...
Social media's a lie.
It is. And so I just want to post funny shit that kind of, like, sometimes poke and prod at it, but... Mm-hmm. Nothing that is incredibly... I just want to make people, like, laugh.
Yeah.
Because everything is so fucking doom and gloom. I'm like, dude, the internet was like... I remember when the internet was... The internet was like a place of respite, low-key, for people to just have fun with shit. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, like... You know, once Tumblr went bust, everybody got to get out their emotions on Instagram. So now they clogging Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, what the hell... happened? Like, there was a time when each social media platform was like, hey, if you're going to go on an emo rant, just save that for Tumblr. You know what I'm saying? Just put that in a blog post, find the favorite GIF for it, and just keep it moving. And then Twitter would be like, hey, we the assholes. We just going to tweet all day and say, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, this is our land of the assholes. It's like Oscar land. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like Facebook is like that in between is placating to everything. Then you had Instagram that's like that visual. It was for photographers and videographers. That's where it started. And then all of a sudden, when certain shit happens and, you know, businesses collide, now we got to deal with motherfuckers. We got to deal with motherfuckers using different platforms. I'm like, why? Take this over to Instagram. Take this over to, like, keep it. I don't want to see that.
You ever look at your phone and you're like, fuck, man, there's 5 ways for people to communicate with me. And then I was looking at my phone the other day and it's like, I saw little notifications and it's like, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. To me, it seems a bit much. Like,
it is a bit much, and it's making me paranoid that, like, once one platform becomes, like, stabilized and trying new shit, there's a new platform.
Well, now it's TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
It's TikTok, and the provisions for that company are not quite the greatest.
Yeah, there's some. I didn't click on the article, but there's some weird Chinese stuff going on, right?
They're taking all your data. If you thought Facebook was fucked up, you really getting fucked with TikTok.
Yeah.
Just so you could have a few thousand people like your shit.
Yeah. So I don't
even know what that transfers to. Like, what does the TikTok, and that's not knocking anybody on TikTok. If you're doing your thing on TikTok, keep rocking it. But, like, what does that transfer? And this is not just for TikTok. It's for every, so what does that shit transfer to? Because I've seen shows where, like, a motherfucker's like, yeah, and on their social media, and they're following, and it look like it's going to be juking. It's going to be popping. And then you get there, and you realize that person is that idea of followers and who's following and who's interested in what is not really true. Like, for instance, I don't have a lot of followers and shit like that, but I can get people out to shows. Mm-hmm. It's just not through that means of social media because my friends will use a wide variety called texting and phone calls to get information for shit like that. So it's really misleading, and it's so fucked up because one of the things that I'm having an issue and I still can't bring myself to do it is, you know how everybody's doing like the clip on Instagram, and then it's like with
the titles,
with the subtitles and the whole.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't like it. Like, do your thing. I know why comedians got to do it. Mm-hmm. I totally get that. What it does, though, is it sets up a fucked up expectation for an audience member when they come to a live show. You seeing a 30-second clip of someone on Instagram at a hair salon, context is off, feeling is off. So they're making a decision about what they think about your comedy, not even in. And I know some comedians like, well, if you fun, like, no, you're really short. Like, all right, if you put out all of your shit and you still don't get the traction of all the shit that you just put out, maybe it's because of how, like, just because it's popular doesn't mean we have to do it. And I think that for some comedians, that format, yeah, it might get people to like your shit and whatever you need to do to build up you is totally dope. But just be aware that, like, as you're doing all of that, sometimes the context is going to be lost, and sometimes it's not going to translate into live.
Nothing compares to live.
And if it's so weird watching a joke so out of context. Like, I don't like watching, like, when they have Netflix and they have the little stand-up trailers for it. I don't like watching them because it's like you're cutting up, like, words and shit when...
Do you watch specials still? Like, now it's just, I don't know. It's, after seeing live comedy, man, I just want to see it live. Like, I'll see...
Live is way better.
It's just, like, I'll see who's coming into town, and I'll try to see something live now. Because it's like, so I don't know if I've watched... Because I've watched... I don't even remember the last special I watched. Now I just see who's coming in town and just watch live.
The homie Jake Bronick is one of my live buddies. I have seen Marina Franklin. I went to her taping. She taped in Chicago. You don't know who Marina Franklin?
No.
Really?
I'll look her up.
Look her up. Marina Franklin's dope. She's actually from Oak Park area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's a comedian, and, like, she came up with, like, Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neal and all that type of shit.
On the East Coast, New York or whatever?
Yeah.
When they all moved to New York?
Yeah.
No, I'll check it out. Okay, I'll start wrapping this up.
For sure.
What? Any plugs? Any plugs? So actually, this won't be out. It's like in a week or something like that. So next Monday. So this will be out kind of soon.
Is it gonna be on time? I don't mean that as a diss. I know, like, sometimes, like, when you're, like, working
drugs.
and trying to do
it's honestly, it's been drugs and women. That my only two podcasts I released that were late were because women and drugs. So the first night I went out Sunday night and I was trying to get laid, and I got cock blocked by this one fat lesbian. This fat lesbian cock blocked me, and she came home. She came with us, and then we're taking her home. And
wait, how?
Like, I'm at the bar with the chick and the chick, and her and her friends that I knew happened to come. This is the second time the same chick has cock blocked me with the same girl, by the way. But she comes. We're just hanging out. We're drinking, and she's there. I buy her shots and everything, and then, I'm buying her shots. We're all hanging out. But the friend she came with, she got in an argument with, and the other friends are straight. Mm-hmm. And then it got really passionate. So we were thinking, like, was there more to this relationship that we might not know about?
No, I can tell you what's going on.
What's going on?
Well, keep going.
But the other two were sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They were sisters, and they're both married. And they really got into it with that girl. Like, it got passionate. Like, fuck you. And I was like, and they left. And they left. And the girl was kind of like, was there. The girl I'm with, like, oh, is she stranded? She needs a ride. I was like, no. And I'm like, I'm trying to get. No. Girls will never leave each other. And then the girls left her. And we're like, and we're about to leave. It's like, oh no, she's gone. She probably and then she sees the lesbian, and it's like, fuck. All right, let me go give her a ride. I was like, all right, I'll give her a ride. So she's gonna go give her a ride, and then we're gonna go back to my house. And this is because this is the first time she's finally gonna go to my house. But then she's like, oh, let's give her a ride, and then we'll go. Leave your car here. We'll go. Then we'll go back to the house, your house. So we're taking her a ride, and we're halfway to her house, and all of a sudden she starts freaking out. She's like, I can't go home. And then I didn't know what to do. I wasn't in my car. I was in the other girl's car. Yeah. And my friends told me the next day, we should have said, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Where do you want me to take you then if you can't go home? I should have said something like, hey, basically you can't come with us. Yeah. But at the time I didn't know what the fuck to do. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. And I was in my head, I was like, all right, she can come over, but maybe she'll fall asleep on the couch and then it'll be cool. But no, she was there and she was kind of like distraught about the whole situation, and then it was like a lot of attention to her, and then it just
because she's a manipulative bitch.
Yeah, I want to. Sorry, and it's like because it was with this other chick. It was like it was finally. I
know exactly what the fuck it is. Is that the lesbian chick thought that there was something was going to happen with the chick that you were talking to, and it's not. It's never going to happen. Yeah. And she knows that, but she's going to force her hand every single time. And the girl that you were talking to is not recognizing that she has more than just a friendship. Like, she wants more than just a friendship. I've seen it multiple times.
Oh, that makes sense with the other chicks too when they got so
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, and the whole, like, you know, manipulating the situation of like, oh, I can't go home alone. No, like, no.
Why can't you go home?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was,
but
that
you
was
can go home with
purely
me.
manipulative. And I'll tell you another thing. Her walking off and y'all trying to, like, not when you were, and it was like, oh, we thought she left. And that was for the signal for, like, hey, come and look for me.
Yeah.
It's manipulative bullshit. Like, she has a crush on the chick, and it's not going to happen. And, you know, I've seen it so many times. Because I've had, like, I know that I'm not going to sit up here and waste my energy on a straight woman, a cis woman. And so, like, it's like, I've been out, like, partying with them. I'll flirt, have a good time. I know that. So if they go off with their dude, I can't be like, well, no, like, no, this was
What
not,
about us?
No, like, have a good time drinking, holler at you later. Get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? Don't step in the way of the, it's not going to happen anyway. Let your homegirl get some dick.
Yeah, and then I went out, spent money, a bunch of my coke, and then, you know, the next day I was like fucking, so that was Sunday night. So Sunday I finished editing or whatever, and I put it up on Libsyn.
Yeah,
and then I set it for release.
Wait, did she do some coke?
Huh? Not the lesbian.
Okay, I was about to say
the chick
man.
I was with.
Yeah, okay. I was about
she
to
did a lot of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, reason I don't do that much, but most of the coke there is it's for the ladies. It's like, you know.
You did not bring any for me today.
Huh? There was cops here, and then but it's shitty, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's giving me that throat thing. It's
Yeah.
fucking me up because I have food. So, and the other one was when I dropped acid and I lost that whole Sunday and it was delayed till Tuesday. So the two times that it didn't release Monday morning. So unless next weekend some bullshit happens on Sunday where I get thirsty and try to get laid, it will be out next Monday. Unless that happens, it'll probably be out that Tuesday.
I'm gonna buy you all types of snacks and shit. Sit your
I can
ass
eat.
down.
So,
Where do
yeah.
you live in the city, right?
No, I live in the suburbs. Waukegan.
Oh, you all the fuck, dude.
Oh, I gotta meet up with Chris after this. I gotta message him. He wants to record too.
Who?
The Asian.
Chris Bonga?
Yeah, you know what kind of Asian he is?
He's Filipino.
I knew it, dude. Oh, okay.
Dude, he's talked about it in multiple sets. I don't.
Has he? No,
Yes.
I missed that set.
No,
because
we
I
knew
asked him
that Chris
to.
Bongat was. His name is Bongat.
Is that Filipino?
Yes.
I'm not too educated. I'm pretty dumb. All right. So the Happy Corner, what are the plugs? Happy Corner Podcast.
Happy Corner Podcast, the Happy Corner Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and then obviously on Facebook. Please like, share, and then we're on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud.
Are you on iHeart? I can't get on that motherfucker. I've been waiting. I submitted, but it fucking takes forever. Do you know if you're on iHeart Radio?
No, I'm not on it. We're not on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but it's fucking seems like a headache.
And
Anyways.
then K Marion Comedy on Instagram and Kimberly Marion on Facebook. I'm still an old head, dude. I still rock with Facebook because Twitter take up too much fucking time. But the way I be popping on Facebook recently, I feel like I should be switching over to Twitter.
Twitter?
Because mine is just like quick bursts
Quick
of
ones?
like quick bursts of like little funny shit so that people are chilling out a little bit.
I do that.
That's
Everyone.
fun.
I'm trying to figure out social media now because of this thing, but I'm working on it. So what's mine? Lobo 9110 on I think everything.
You have a great podcast, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being on, and then I think that's it.